What?
I was trying to think of different things to say. And then I was going to start with greetings. And then I thought that would sound awful. So, hi, Mim.
Hi, Scarlett.
How are you doing?
Not bad. I mean, guys, you will hear me chew on this podcast. I'm having breakfast. And, if you tuned into Style Over Substance for podcasting professionalism, that's not what we offer here. So
it's not what we do here.
So you will hear my my Nutella toast being munched.
Oh man, gotta eat.
How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been quite a busy week. I feel I had Friday off, and it's like I had a 3-day weekend, but because I did something with that Friday like all day, you almost don't feel like you have a 3-day weekend, if that makes sense, because so I don't feel as rested as I should, but I've got a lazy day today, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Just to like unwind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, been good. I've been knitting
again.
So my nephew's birthday is coming up next week, and I'm knitting him a cricket jumper.
Oh,
so he can match his dad.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that is good.
So it's going to be super cute. And yeah, my professionalism was I was potentially going to be doing it whilst we're talking, but I'm getting to a part that needs shaping, so that would be too much.
Listen, we love a woman who multitasks, but cricket jumper has to be done properly.
Yeah, it's like cable knit and everything. It looks really good actually so far.
I'm impressed by that even to come up with that idea. I'm impressed. It's a good one.
Well, you know what's really funny, because I thought of doing it because like this summer when he went to watch some games, like I thought it could have been really cute if he was wearing like a little matching jumper. And then I thought to do it, and then my sister-in-law actually like sent me a voice note saying, I don't know what you're thinking of getting him, but I had this idea of you like making him a cricket jumper. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to do it. So my aim is to do like a long sleeve one and then a little sleeveless one too, if I've got time. But the party is on Saturday, so time is now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's against me, but he's only little, so it shouldn't take too long.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, for context, guys, Scarlett's brothers are cricket players, so yeah, that's cute.
So I've been knitting, and actually I forgot how much I love that as like a little pastime or like something to do. Forgot how much I enjoyed it. So
well, I will not be returning to needlework anytime.
Have you finished your cross stitch?
Yeah, I have. Did I not tell you?
We did not get the grand reveal that you finished.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I do need to post it online. I do need to wash it though, because I've put it in the frame and everything. Yeah. But after
you've been handling it for like a year.
It's grubby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
on a gentle wash, you don't want all your hard work to unravel.
I think I might just do a soak in Vanish.
Yeah.
Just a hand wash, not a God. I would lose my shit if something were to unravel. I can't take that sort of heartbreak right now.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah. What
is your fashion story this week?
Well, I have a few, but I'll start.
I know you have a few.
Oh, yeah. How do you know that?
Well, because you always do, and I bet one of them is mine. So,
maybe actually, yeah, maybe one of them is. I'm just trying to give variety, to be honest. So the first one is today. I'm actually going to the V&A with my mum to go and see their bags exhibition. So it's called Bags Inside Out. And they're going to have all the big names and all like these quirky designs of different bag brands.
You'll have to report back and tell us if it's worth seeing.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures.
V&A do really good exhibitions.
Yeah, they do.
Love
We've
V&A.
been to a few of them. We went to the Dior one, which was very good. Been to some others, but I can't remember at this point. that says something. But with this, because previous exhibitions that I've gone to see at the V&A that's like fashion related, they get so popular and the tickets sell out really quickly. So
I couldn't get a ticket for the Dior one.
Yeah, you had to book like months in advance. But this one, they're doing it differently. So the tickets for the next couple weeks or for the next week or something go on sale on the Tuesday. So they release them bit by bit, which is so much better. But I'll have to report back on that one. Hopefully it's a really good one. Probably see some like vintage LVs, some trunks or something, maybe some Hermes ones, and then like weird, quirky other styles. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh,
what's your fashion story?
So since recording the last one, I can't think what day it happened now, we were delighted to a Gucci like mega show. It was called the Parade of Love, and I think it was sort of to celebrate that Gucci's been going for 100 years.
I think it's part of okay, this is where you hear the bread, guys.
Because
they had that.
There's different parts, like it said it was part of the centenary, but also a new chapter. Like it was sort of like it seemed to be lots of different celebrations for Gucci.
Yeah, so they had that collaboration with Balenciaga, and that was part of their like 100th year in operation, and that was like their big show. I think that Gucci are at a place when they're wanting to do something different and to like hire out and to block off Hollywood Boulevard and have all these celebrities essentially walk in their show, and to do something quite different is them just trying to like go to the own beat of their own drum or whatever that phrase is. And so it's like this show was off the usual scheduling. So I think they're committed to that. You know how last year we were talking about how brands were no longer going to keep themselves to fashion weeks and they're just going to show when they feel like it and things. I think maybe Gucci's actually sticking to their guns in this sense.
It was fantastic. It was like, and actually Gucci, I think, was it Gucci that has done this before? I think it was maybe Prada. No, sorry. D&G for a few times have done quite a lot of like men's and women's showing at the same time, and kind of such that when they used to get lots of famous people or current like it people to walk the catwalk, sort of in the last sort of 10 years, they have had like quite a few shows like that. I think Gucci's taken a leaf out of that book. Like the most iconic person to walk that show by far was Macaulay Culkin. Like,
yeah, and I think also because if you know his
it's about to be festive season as well. Like, perfect timing.
That's true. Home Alone.
Yeah,
but Macaulay Culkin has had
he's had some hardships. Yeah,
had a lot of drug issues, serious drug issues, and I think the last time we saw a picture of him, he looked pretty rough.
He looked really ill. Yeah, like really slim, really ill. Like, yeah.
And so in this show, everyone was so hyped for him because he looked amazing. He looked happy.
He looked great.
He looked confident.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you weren't expecting him to to walk in a Gucci runway. It was weird, but
like, whoever
great.
had the idea,
give them a raise.
Like, yeah. Like, give them a bonus, give them a pay rise. Yeah, I think just like that's what we kind of want to see, you know? Like, I think the unexpected, you know, we know what to expect from a fashion show now. It's going to be the most beautiful people like walking a show, but just to have something like that where there's an element of surprise or like, no way, and it to work, like for him to pull it off and all of that stuff, like he did great. The styling was great. There was loads of like lingerie and stuff. It was such a fun show. It looked like they had like this huge guest list, a huge party afterwards. Like it was a big deal.
Yeah. I think probably Gucci's marketing team have done pretty well this year. I mean, it's a massive brand anyway, but it's managed to be exciting still.
And I feel like this is them monopolizing on the fact that like probably more so now, like 2 or 3 years ago, they suddenly became like the it brand for young people, like everywhere, like that was just what you wanted. And that's probably like, it swings like between different places. Then it probably moved on to like Fendi and that kind of a thing. But still, I feel like for a while, there is no way I would have wanted to own something from Gucci about 10 years ago. It probably wasn't really on my radar. Like it seemed a bit like old fashioned, like
a bit tired,
all of that stuff. But now, like, you know, like the GG belt is everywhere. And like, it's just a really, I feel like they're just kind of making sure their trajectory keeps going up and monopolizing on the fact that they had like a really like just big moment a few years ago. And so they're just really like, they're just going from strength to strength, I think.
Yeah. From what I've read, their sales are slowing down, but that's to be expected because, as you said, they've had really amazing past, 6-7 years.
Yeah.
But I think they have like solidified themselves into being just an interesting brand. Like, I think I've said it before, Gucci is giving us like vintage dressing up box. And it's like, it's something different in every store, probably. Everything's a bit quirky. It's like you found like a gem of a piece. It's all put together in like weird and wonderful ways. It's for like those who just want to be like unabashedly glamorous and ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just what they're going to continue doing. And yeah, I think
for sure.
Well done them. And
What's
well
your
done Macaulay Culkin as well.
What's your next one?
So my next one is so, you know, not with us traveling as much as we used to, there are a number of like luxury brands who are going over to like Dubai in the Middle East, trying to garner some of that Middle Eastern money that they used to rake in London and Paris. And I mean, you know, like London in the summer was just not the same
it's
as
not
how
what we
normally...
needed it to be. It was not what we needed it to be.
But like from if you're someone who knows like Knightsbridge and where Harrods is and Harvey Nicks and that sort of area, in the summer it's normally like packed with people who have come over from the Middle East on holiday to just spend, eat out, drive fast cars, and like it's a bit of a playground, isn't it? And it obviously last year it just wasn't that. So I mean, like Giorgio Armani had a fashion show at the Burj Khalifa, and like they're trying to like encourage those people to shop at home, which I thought was really interesting. And then you've got like Chanel re-showed their cruise collection over there this year, and Dior is opening an exhibition called like the Designer of Dreams over there. And it's like interesting to see how, okay, some of our biggest spenders aren't coming over to Europe, so we're going to go there and put on shows and exhibitions and all of that over there because they need that Middle Eastern clientele. I just thought it was interesting that they're making these moves.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I find it actually like quite fitting that I know we talk about Real Housewives a lot on this show, but there's going to be like a Real Housewives Dubai. And I feel like, do you remember, I don't know if you've seen the Sex and the City, I think it was the second one when they all go to the Middle East, and it's like this thing of like, oh, the Middle East is like the new place to be. And like, it has been for a while, like lots, like people never used to go on holiday to Dubai, and now it's literally like an A-lister type holiday.
But it's also a bit like going to Marbs, isn't it? Going to Dubai,
it's like an upmarket like Marbs. But like, yeah. And then like there's definitely like certain type of people who try to go there or aspire to go there. And then like us regular people just like try and like emulate because we see the pictures and want to go. But like I feel like the Middle East has just now again like upped a level that is becoming like very like serious in the fashion world. Like Dubai has the biggest shopping mall in the world. Or it did when, I think, obviously, whenever you say you've got the tallest building or the biggest something, like someone the next day builds like something
even bigger,
even bigger, because that seems to be a fun game for the wealth. But yeah, I just think like they're taking their fashion really seriously, and I think, yeah, I feel like we'll see a lot more fashion shows and moments over there. Like I'm surprised that there was Shanghai had that moment for a while. Like lots of designers would go and like show in Shanghai, and I think we almost need to see more of that. I do think that fashion, I know obviously for ease and travel, but actually you've got clients or the clientele that live in those regions. You don't have to fly people out from Europe to go to a Shanghai or Dubai fashion show. You've got fashionistas there. But I'd love to see that be part more of like the regular fashion cycle of showing in more places. I think that'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Dubai or the Middle East is going to be a real fashion contender over the next few years.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Real Housewives of Dubai is an interesting one, because I think it's going to expose Americans to, it's going to break their misconceptions of what Dubai is and what like the Middle East is and things like that. Even though a lot of people in the UK like every year go to Dubai, and like it's quite well-known destination over here, but
yeah,
I definitely think it's going to open up a lot of,
I think it will.
minds.
I think perceptions. Yeah, I think we have to remember that like it's a bit closer to us than it is to America.
Yeah.
And I also just think there's a different, like we're more familiar with it. You're right. I think it will open people's eyes to like misconceptions. And
the only difference between like showing in Milan or London or New York or something, those are cities that have a lot of fashion houses.
Yeah,
so it makes sense for them to show in their own backyard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there aren't talented designers over in the Middle East. Definitely not. There are loads. I just don't think that they are as big, and that's why the
as
places
notorious
like Dubai haven't become like a fashion capital.
And also, I wouldn't mind betting that we'll watch those Real Housewives and they won't be like wearing necessarily Middle Eastern designers. They'll be wearing like Louis V and they'll be wearing Dior, like because that's what like big money goes for.
I'm hoping that they're gonna like, this has become another fashion story, hasn't it? Like, Real Housewives. Okay, this is one in itself. I'm hoping that they do display, I mean, I think they will, like a lot of Middle Eastern designers, a lot of opulence, just culturally, like
I think even in like Real Housewives, there's always like a few big events in a season, and I wouldn't mind betting that there'll be some like Middle Eastern fashion event where they all like, I mean, I don't know if they've released who the housewives are, not that I would know who the people would be anyway.
I've seen a list. Yeah, I don't know any of them, obviously.
But like, whether they're more westernized or whatever, I still think we'll definitely have like lots of cultural like reference points, because that's important. But yeah.
And also, these ladies are going to be like rich. Not like, you know how you get in a lot of the Real Housewives franchises?
Yeah.
It's like half of them pretend like they have a lot of money, and then you find out they're actually bankrupt, or that they're massively in debt, or their husband's going to prison, and they're like trying to keep up with the Joneses. In Dubai, it's going to be like
serious money.
Them getting invited to private showings of a cruise collection. That's what I'm expecting to see. And if Bravo hasn't got that for me, I'm going to be disappointed, because that's the level of like cultural relevance the uber rich have in Dubai and places like that.
Oh, for sure. And when I worked for a couture fashion house, the majority of our couture clients and private clients were from the Middle East and had just like obscene money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any other stories?
No, that's it from me.
We interrupt this broadcast to remind you, go follow us on Instagram, Style Over Substance Pod. Shoot us an email, styleoversubstancepeak@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube, find us on Twitter. We've got all the links on our Instagram. You know what to do. Cool. So this week, guys, don't get your knickers in a twist, but we are going to mention the C word, Christmas.
That was a good one.
I know it's early and like we're not decorating yet. Don't worry. Even though I know a few people who have started decorating, and I am a very festive person, can I just add?
Mm-hmm.
And I love being festive, but I think it's a bit soon to get into that spirit just yet. Like, do I spend a lot of time looking at what decorations I want to get? Yes. Have I bought them yet, or have I displayed them yet? No. But yeah, we're going to talk about Christmas, more specifically advent calendars and the culture that we've seen in like the last
4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, maybe 5, I think. But definitely, yeah, like it's going bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
It's advent calendars. They're just really taking over. And then there's even just like the crackers, like all of that stuff. Like Christmas is just really taken on.
Yeah. So specifically like luxury advent calendars, like luxury beauty.
We're not talking about like a Cadbury's one, or the fact that like Lindor now do like a £20 chocolate one. We're talking like the really luxury advent calendars that are like a couple £100 that just materialized kind of just one day. I actually think the people who started it were potentially Liberty. I think that was like the original, they were the most beauty advent calendar. And I will say I have owned one of those, and the box and stuff like that, I've kept it because it's beautiful. And I thought like in every door I could just reuse that and put like chocolates in it, like, or something like that, and it just be a recycled thing. So we think they might have started it.
Same, I think so. I think Liberty's was the first advent calendar that I was aware of that was a luxurious one. So now we kind of have the luxury beauty, and then we also have what I think more fashion houses are doing their own advent calendars, which does also involve beauty, but then it involves like some other stuff as well,
like accessories and stuff like that.
And with the popularity of like Liberty's one, and then I think Harrods came out with one, and like the pre-ordering has the reason why we're talking about it now in the beginning of November.
They're all already on sale and probably sold out.
They were released mid-October.
When did I tell you? I think the pre-sale started in October. I'm pretty sure that for Space NK it was like the first week of October it got released. And so that's madness.
If they weren't on your radar and you already hadn't decided that you're buying an advent calendar from pretty much summer or the end of summer, you would have missed out on signing up for one and buying it, because everyone's already received their advent calendars. It's not even.
I don't know where to store mine.
Have you got some?
I have got one. Yeah.
What did you buy?
Got the Space NK one.
Okay, just that one.
I'm not gonna lie, I do have more than one.
I know. I think the reason why we're doing this episode, guys, is because Scarlett is a passionate advent calendar buyer, and you were talking about.
I just missed that.
I said
I have a problem.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. And you were debating whether you were going to buy more than one, and if that was financially responsible of you.
It's not financially responsible, but I do have more than one. I only have 2.
Okay.
And then I also this month have treated myself to an espresso one. I have a problem.
An espresso one?
Yeah, I mean, it was like £30, which is still a lot of money, but it's like a little coffee pod each day.
Oh, that's cute.
I thought that was fun. I have a daily coffee, so I just thought That's like a fun thing to open. And not that this helps the fact that I definitely am a Advent beauty. I'm a beauty addict, by the way. Like, it's not just Advent calendars. I have a real problem. I don't go to AA meetings, but like I do have a problem.
Yeah.
But like I don't have a chocolate one, if that helps.
Well,
I don't have a £5 chocolate one.
What's the point at this point, Scarlett? What's the point? So
I did find, and I don't know if this was almost the origin of them, but like if I have a sweet tooth, like I want lots of chocolate or sweets in one go, and then I don't need them for like 2 weeks. I'm not someone who has like a little daily like snippet of chocolate or sweets.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that my chocolate would go unopened and stuff like that. And so I almost wonder, oh my God, if the birth of this was like, what can we do for people who don't want like a daily chocolate and want to spend so much more money?
I don't think that's it, Scarlett. I don't think that's it. I think that okay, so just kind of like context, I think in general they are these advent calendars which have like small size, tester size, travel size,
and full size
products, and full size, but mostly they're like the small miniature versions. And I think that someone very clever decided that these free testers that we normally just give away, if we package it up really nicely, then people would see the value in them. The presentation is beautiful, and it's kind of, as you said, like I've watched a lot of reviews of these advent calendars, and people just tend to open them at once. Like really,
like for videos and stuff like that, for sure. I was tempted, because I have more than one. I was tempted to have one for November, but obviously there's not 24 days in November.
Well, there's 24 days. I mean, if you started at the first.
No, but I mean, like, it doesn't have the full month, so it wouldn't like roll into December type of a thing. Because I was like, it's a bit crazy to like just wait now for like 2 months to open these things. But it's a really clever idea. Like, it's very simple. These smaller products are really cheap to make.
And the markup, the price of these, I think we should talk about the price.
Yeah, so I think the biggest selling point that seems to like probably justify the cost of these things is the fact that they'll sort of tell you what the products are worth if you were to buy all of the products. And so like I think Cult Beauty tends to have the best like discount sort of wise. So I think theirs is around £200, but it's worth like £1,000. And their one has like the most beauty products in it, and like the most full size products and stuff like that. And of course, like some of the sizes don't ever get sold, so it's kind of hard to say if you bought this it would cost this, because actually like you can't buy that size because they don't sell that size.
It's like if I bought a full size it would be £50, but you're giving me less than half that size.
No, but I do think they do it as like the amount. So I think say like it was a £50 product, I think they'd then say that's worth £25 or whatever.
Okay.
But like, so the what you get in it is a lot, but we all know that isn't also as it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I get the impression that the beauty ones are maybe, when I say beauty, I mean like the Space NK, Liberties, Harrods, like I get the impression that they would be more value for money. Bear in mind, Harrods one is £250, Selfridges is £210 this year. But the ones that I've seen from Dior and Chanel, I'm going to talk about Chanel in a bit.
The Dior one's obscene.
It's not really, I don't see where the justification for the price comes in, because
so it's £400 and it's got 24 doors, all of that stuff. But the miniatures, they're genuinely like, you know, when you used to get like those tiny, I can't even think what, like it'd be like tester size. So like in those tiny little bottles that like have maybe like 3 uses in them or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the size of stuff that they've got in there. Like, I don't think they've got really anything that looks like, oh my God, I'm getting like a good amount for what I want. Like, it's probably like tester size mascaras, like it's tester size fragrance.
Yep.
And like, I don't know, £400 is so much money. Like, it's so much money. I would want a full-size perfume in there for that amount. I would want like, I don't know. I think makeup always feels like a bit of like a mean thing to put in a beauty advent calendar as someone who like has bought them, because I don't necessarily want that shade, or you've given me like a bad shade, right? Or like a universal shade, which doesn't then suit anyone because it's meant to suit everyone. Like, yeah, I think that makeup is really stingy to put in these things. Personally,
I think like lip glosses, lipsticks, not that bad. I think it's bad when they start putting foundation shades in. And I've seen the Dior one, and it's like, guys, come on, like it's not even necessary. Like, you could either get the customer to pick their shade before that you ship their advent calendar so they get the right one, or just not have that sort of stuff in it.
No, definitely. And also I think it's a difficult thing when you're an actual brand. So I think it works well for like a Liberty, a Harrods, a Selfridges, because they house so many brands that they can actually pick a really great product selection. Whereas like Dior doesn't have that many options for beauty. Like you said, you really shouldn't be putting like foundation or concealer in there. Anything that is to do with skin tone. Because like it's never gonna work.
It's just not.
Walk down the street, no one has the same like skin tone. Like, that doesn't work. But also I just don't think they have enough array of products that are suitable. Yes, they've got a makeup range and they've got a skincare range, but like, that's not kind of enough products, really.
And I think advent calendars is about obviously the element of surprise and variety, and maybe getting things that you wouldn't have picked yourself. Now, I think if you were someone who loved Dior, for example, or you're buying it for someone who loves Dior, the chances are, and you're spending £400 on it, so it's not like someone who's casually into Dior. It's someone who's like diehard fan. The chances are they've probably got a lot of the perfume, or they've bought and tried a number of the beauty products that's part of Dior's, beauty offering. So then buying them an advent calendar with miniature versions of everything, although it looks cute, I've seen the Dior one. Some of the bottles, like the Lady Dior and the J'adore and like all the mini bottles, I mean, they're cute, but
but they're just either going to sit on like your nightstand or like sit somewhere where your perfume collection is and never be touched. I think with something like the Dior one, I'd almost rather just spend £400 on proper products.
You could get a few perfumes
that I actually want. So like, get a nice perfume, get like some really gorgeous skincare or something like that, than just like miniatures of lots of things. I think that's where actually like the calendar element of it really sort of fails for the customer. I felt really similarly. So like Jo Malone was also quite quick on the advent calendars, and they do lots of like the mini crackers and all of this stuff. But again, like, it's mini candles. I think they're all like the 9 like is it ounces that they do it in? I don't know what they do it in. Or centiliters, maybe.
I think it's ounce.
I think it is ounces. But that's a really small candle. And like, so Diptyque also did one. And like, I think it was nearly £400 again. And every single thing was like just a miniature candle. And like, I'm not being funny. Candles are really cheap to produce. Like, if I'm spending I don't just want one full size. And when I say it was full size, I don't even think it was a 190 candle. I think it was 70. So that's still a relatively small, because I think like they're like what people would normally buy would be a 190 candle that's like 40 odd quid. And they didn't even have one of those in there. I just thought, that's just so stingy for a £400 thing. and scent is a really like, it's a really personal thing. No one likes the whole range of a fragrance, right? Like I personally don't like the smell of roses or like really sweet things.
Rose, yeah.
So like, and that's one of their best-selling candles probably, but like I'm never gonna burn that one. And equally, some people might not like the smells I like. I don't know.
I think that's where the re-gifting comes in, though. I think with advent calendars, it's very common for people to be like, "Oh, I'll give this to someone else."
That was my justification on buying. Mine was like, really? I will like include what I don't want of these as like gifts or like additional sort of like a little goodie bag maybe for like my mum and my sisters. But then I also don't want it just to be like, I'll make sure it's things that I think they would like and not just discard as well. Like to seem like it's a bit more like thoughtful than just, I didn't want this, so here you go.
Well, when they hear this episode, they'll know.
Spoiler alert for a gift, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then like, so another style that I've seen, and I wasn't aware of this before this year, is jewellery advent calendars have started becoming a thing. So I've seen Miss Soma do it. And I think Astrid and Mayu, however you say that brand.
Yep.
But they're really expensive again. They're around the £400 mark. I think maybe Astrid and Mayu is like £250. But it's also then half the amount of like boxes. And again, I think jewellery is a really personal thing.
Half the amount of boxes.
So like it's not 24, it's 12.
No, that's a rip-off.
But then that's
probably not an advent calendar.
I know. But it's really expensive. And I just think like I'd rather again just spend that amount of money on buying the jewellery I want from you rather than like having 12 drawers of just like jewellery I might like.
That's the thing. They try to spin it off as this is really good value for money, but it isn't necessarily. Like as you've said, your own in Miss Soma's case or Ashton Mayu, it's half the number of days. And then I think what's happened is that these luxury advent calendars came into play, and we were all like, "Oh my God. Like, I can't believe it's so expensive." But then all these advent calendars kept selling out.
Yeah.
They're like kind of limited edition. And I think more companies are jumping on the bandwagon. They know that they can sell something for £300. So why not sell it for £300?
Yeah. And like put all your cheapest items in it. So like a way that I justify buying things like this is because I do love skincare and beauty. If there's enough products in there that I already have and would bend like or use and like, okay, then I don't have to buy my next one.
Yeah.
Then that's like so I'll add that up and see if then like it either totals to the amount or like is more than like it would be for me to buy those products. Like I have to add up how many of the things I would actually genuinely use in it. Because otherwise it's just really like it shouldn't be worthwhile. Otherwise you're buying into the gimmick or like the marketing of these things. I do think there's some really clever ones out there. Like I said, I've got like the Nespresso one, and last year I got my flatmate like a tea one because she loves tea. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think they're cute.
I think like there being ones with sweets in, and there's popcorn, there's like alcohol ones, which obviously are relatively pricey, like with cans of beer. Like there's gin ones with like small little bottles of different spirits and tonics and stuff like that. And I kind of get that. Like, I guess it's making what we give to kids, giving adult versions of them.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that just as the price goes up, you really have to have justification for buying it in that way.
And I think the problem more is that it's creating like this like numbness to how expensive that is. Like I think we talked about a bit of Halloween, how like holiday seasons are really like leveling up with just how intense they are. And I think this is just another factor. Like don't get me wrong, if I added up what I've spent, don't want to know that. Like, that's essentially like, I haven't even bought Christmas presents and I've already spent that essentially on Christmas.
Yeah.
But like, and on myself, which is like, you're welcome.
You know what? You survived another year. You deserve it.
And you know what? Like, that's definitely a culture like I have. And that is like, I've made my peace with like, this is what I really enjoy. Like, if this is like how I treat myself, then like I've made my peace with that.
Yeah.
But it is really indulgent, and it's kind of just a real example of how we just have taken Christmas like just really far. Like, even like my nephews aren't old enough for the Christmas Eve box thing yet, but again, this Christmas Eve box has become something that like you then give a kid a whole box of presents, or like little presents. I don't even know what a Christmas Eve box is, but like, that's so much pressure. Like, it's another thing to add to Christmas.
Yeah. I that's brought up a good point, that when we grew up, we just had chocolate advent calendars. Like, they were just chocolate, and they were just like little bits of chocolate. And I loved them, and every other kid just likes them because it's like chocolate every morning. Like, why not?
Yeah. And my parents even had like, we had like a reusable thing where it was like a little like hanging thing. So it was almost like a little decoration in our room that had little pockets.
Yeah.
And my mum would put a different sweet in it every day. And like, that was like, we lived for it. And then like, we'd all check everyone got the same sweet, like, or something like that. And it would just be, it was amazing. We didn't need more than that, like, at all.
Yeah, I think the next one that I got, but this was when I was like an adult. I think I was in my early 20s or something. My mum bought us a you know, Ciate, that nail polish company, and they started doing it. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they were really good because you'd get like the glitter, you'd get all the different shades.
Yeah, actually,
it was really good.
There were some of like the smaller beauty. I remember that actually. That sort of definitely started. Yeah.
And that was really good. But still, although it's more than chocolate, it's still quite reasonable little gifts to give someone each day. It's nail polish, different colors and stuff like that. Now when we think about advent calendars and they get bigger and more expensive, where is this culture going? Like,
and also traditionally someone buys you an advent calendar, right? Like, you don't buy yourself one. Is kind of like meant to be the point.
Never for adults though.
No, but like when I was maybe at uni or something like that, I would have like my mum, like, it's like you don't buy yourself an Easter egg, right? Like, it's someone gifts you an Easter egg, so like either like your partner or your parents or someone gives you an Easter egg. It's meant to sort of be like a little gift, but like there is no way I would let someone pay that amount of money to buy me one. Like, no way. And I think that's hopefully not something people are expecting from a significant other. Like, I think if you want to spend that money, fine, but there is no way that you can really ask someone to spend that on you. Like,
I think I genuinely
it won't be their Christmas present. No,
it's not. It's an advent calendar, isn't it? I think in the case of like Chanel and Dior, I think that other people would be buying it for you because it's for like people who are really wealthy.
No, of course, yeah.
Like, so to them, although it's a lot of money, it's not like you and I.
Well, it's also not. It's a cheap thing from Dior. It's a cheap thing from Chanel.
Exactly, but I would argue
I could afford. I mean, I wouldn't spend £400 on that Dior one, but like, that's more realistic for me to afford than like the Chanel lady tote. The Dior lady bag. Yeah, like, or the book tote.
I would rather, honestly, buy an Emma scarf, or because you could spend that kind of money on the smaller leather goods or like charms and things like that, than something that could ultimately leave you disappointed because you don't know everything that's going to be in this box. So I want to tell you about this year's Chanel one. Have you seen it?
I haven't. And actually, would I have bought it? I don't know.
I'm going to tell you now. No, you wouldn't have. Okay, Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying it was shit. It was actually bad.
What's the box like? Because the Dior one, I expected that from Dior. Like it's a little like Dior townhouse type thing. It's white and gold.
The Dior one is more beautiful.
Yeah.
You open up the doors and it has like these gold illustrations, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's very whimsical and it's very like in keeping with the vibe that Dior's got at the moment. So the Christian Dior one is based on Chanel No. 5 perfume. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
you just said the Christian Dior one.
Oh, sorry. The Chanel one is based on the Chanel No. 5 perfume.
Fine.
So you open the box, which looks like the perfume box. You open it, you slide out a bottle of it's in the shape of the Chanel No. 5 bottle. It's like a reinforced cardboard kind of thing. You open it, like two halves of it, you open it out. And inside is lots of black and white boxes with a number on. It's quite simple, to be honest. Lots of black and white boxes representing for each day. And then inside each of these boxes is your charm or your gift or whatever. So I watched a video of one. First problem, it doesn't start with number 1, it starts with number 5.
So is it using famous Chanel numbers? I bet it is.
No, it just starts with number 5 upwards.
No, because maybe that's because of like it being the number 5. Maybe they thought that was quirky.
They should have started with 1, but then made Chanel No. 5 a special something.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay.
There's not much. Okay, the Chanel bottle shape of the advent calendar is cute.
Yeah.
But there's not much design that has gone into this first issue. So it's not very good value for money. And I say that because I understand that a lot of people who are going to buy this are buying it for the collectability factor.
Yeah.
But then you would expect
almost for the box.
Yeah, you would expect quite different stuff in there. You would expect to have stuff that was you couldn't buy in the shop, or that was for diehard Chanel lovers. This had lots of dates that had stickers, Chanel stickers in it. Some of them were just regular stickers. Some of them were like padded stickers, but they were basic. Honest to God, it was so bad. Bearing in mind, guys, this is £600.
I'm telling you now, £600. If one of my doors has a sticker in, I will be asking for a refund.
Well, there were about 4 or 5 doors that had stickers in.
Just because it's Chanel doesn't mean it's not just a printed sticker.
Exactly. I know. They didn't.
I could make my own.
Yeah. Exactly. You could literally, guys, you could go on Etsy right now. You can find an Etsy seller who's selling you like knockoff Chanel No. 5 goodies like that. Then what else? The minis were tiny. And we're not saying how, like, for example, in the Dior one, because you know that one, you get a mini Salvage, the men's perfume or aftershave. And that is a mini version, a tester, but it's still like an amount, like a travel size, like a tiny travel size. This was even smaller than that. So you had the Chanel No. 5 Parfum, and then you had the Low, which is the secondary version. It's not the Eau de Toilette, it's just like the other version they created. And they were absolutely tiny. You had Christmas tree ornaments, which in theory sounds cute if they were substantial, you know?
Yeah.
But they weren't. They were just like laser cut metal things. One was in the shape of a Chanel No. 5 bottle, and then the other one was like a No. 5. One of the boxes, this was the piss take, was a dust bag.
Oh my God.
So it was like a drawstring Chanel No. 5 dust bag. But you get that when you buy perfume or when you buy makeup. They throw in them little bags, don't they?
Oh my God.
Then another one was a magnetic page bookmark, like, you know, when you clip it on the top of your, for £610. It was really bad. And I was thinking to myself, like, these fashion brands,
That's daylight robbery.
yeah, I would like them to come out with something like bag charms, but genuinely good bag charms, you know.
We all know like costume jewelry and stuff like that is really easy to produce as well. You could definitely make some like enamel Chanel rings
and the Chanel brooches.
Yeah, you could make
that.
a really cheap version of that. That like, so like Dior, granted, I don't think their calendar's great. I don't know if they've done this year. But for the last 2 or 3 years, what they do is like a little lipstick set, but they almost create a Dior pouch. It's like a makeup bag, but they make it out of like, maybe it's not leather, or if it is, it's a cheap leather. But you almost essentially get a little Dior clutch bag with like this little set. And like, it will be like a £200 set. It won't be cheap, but that's obviously a lot cheaper than buying a Dior clutch. It genuinely will have like the Dior or like Dior on it, and then like it almost looks like a wallet maybe or something like that, but it could look like a clutch bag. But at least you're getting like this like something much like a diffusion Dior clutch with this. And I actually, like, you're right, Chanel needs to have like, for £600, that really is not enough to have like, you know, it should be brimming with stuff. And actually, like, it sounds like they're committing a bit too much for it being like the number 5, and they should just actually just have it as like a Chanel thing. I don't want a bookmark from you, like that doesn't benefit me. I'm like more than happy to use a train ticket as a bookmark. I think that's crazy.
They were trying to stick too much to a theme, I think, and that. But even so, I think like little brooches, Chanel brooches, which are iconic, they could have had some of those in. Key rings, they could, even if they did do a bookmark, it could have been, like, you know how Dior do these embroidered kind of thick woven ones? That would be gorgeous. They could have done something like that.
Rather than stickers, they could have just like, they almost could have put stickers on some like luxury bookmark and made it could have looked nicer than just like just stickers. And even like if they wanted to a Christmas ornament, plain Christmas ornaments aren't expensive. They could have got like some glass ornaments or something like that, and just put like, you know, a CC on it, and it like that would feel like special or whatever, or cocoa on it or whatever they wanted. Chanel needs to hire us, and we can create them an advent calendar.
Oh my god, wouldn't you love that? I would love that. If someone hire us, Chanel, hire us to do your advent calendar, please. That'd be so much fun.
But even Chanel, like a little like I can't think what they're called now, the tiny little bag scarves,
twillies.
Yeah, like even like a little twilly, like something super cheap. It could be made out of like cotton, and it could like, so that's the thing that often comes in like in like the beauty industry and stuff like that. You might get like, so I think Liberty will do like a limited edition Liberty like makeup bag that comes with it, and like that's an incentivized thing. Or they collaborate. I know like one year I think Space NK collaborated with like Monica Vinader, and it came with like a Monica Vinader bracelet. And like, I think, you know, if beauty brands can do that for a much more reasonable price, and you feel like you're getting way more like content for the value, there's no way these super brands can't. They should have a department that's working on this, and like, you know, even if it was loads of testers, if I bought a £600 Chanel calendar, I want it brimming with testers. I want it brimming with like the Coco Mademoiselle. Like I want, or like even like a nail varnish or like some nail cream. Like all that stuff is so cheap, or like a lip balm, just
they
something.
Did have some nail polish, and they did have the hand cream, you know, the famous egg-shaped one. But it was just like most of it. That was like, let's say that was 4 or 5 days out of the calendar, and the rest of it was just.
But you expect it to be like brimming, like £600 is not to be laughed at. It feels like they're justifying like the production costs in it, you know?
Yeah. I think, Chanel, they have it's like a box that it's incredibly expensive. It's like 20 grand, but it's a box and it's got miniature versions of their 4 classics. It's like the Boy, the Gabrielle, the classic flap, and then something else. And that comes in a leather kind of case or box. It's really expensive, but that is like a collectible item. I'm not saying that they should do that for the advent calendar, because that would make it incredibly expensive. But they have so many like gems that they could make as like key rings, and so really disappointing. Guys, if I hear any of you have wasted your money on this Chanel one, I guess you didn't know. But yeah, what do you think is like the future of advent calendars?
And it's sold out.
Yeah, it has.
I guess like I don't know if Chanel's done one before. I've not heard of it. I just think they need to sort of like level up a little bit. Like, first of all, maybe, well, you would have thought that whoever's buying it is quite a loyal customer, or like a devoted customer, or like a real fan of your brand. So like reward those people. Like, I can't afford a Chanel bag right now. If I wanted to like put that money into it, make me feel like I get a slice of Chanel, like, make me feel special that like I've just spent £600. And I know it's not for the like regular people necessarily. It's probably for their existing clientele more so. But like, you could get so much like out of making it appeal to like us too, who aren't regular customers.
It's supposed to be like getting a slice of PR. Like, know when they send these PR packages, and
they
like,
send nicer PR packages.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely love. I'd love to see like a little hybrid thing of like, I don't think you could obviously get clothing or anything like that, and obviously all their garments and even accessories are like so expensive to put in a calendar, and I don't think a calendar should be more than £600. But I think you want to see Chanel like doing a candle, even if they don't do them. You want to get a bespoke product in there. How much would someone keep that, like the glass jar of a Chanel candle? You could make a perfume a candle so easily, by the way. Like, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing like, I don't know, I just think you could have such like special things, or like a little bit of jewelry. I think there's just different options, or like a little hair clip, like something that you can produce. And a bit like how Gucci did their like North Face thing. So they did it in a certain way that it didn't mean that like it tarnished the Gucci brand, or made Gucci customers feel annoyed that maybe other people were getting Gucci products for cheaper. There is a way to do it that you aren't putting the CCs everywhere. It could be like Coco Christmas, or like, I don't know, you can make sure people know it's not like a full price Chanel product if you want to ensure that. But I'd love to see a bit more accessories, or like, you know what, even a little Chanel hairband. Like, how expensive is a hairband?
Those little hair clips, those barrettes.
Yeah, or just put a little bobble with like, I don't know. I just think you could be way more enticing. But I think they're here to stay, these calendars. I think more and more companies will try and find a way. Like, I wouldn't mind betting that like Marmite will start doing one, because they love their PR at the moment. Like, I think there's cheese ones. There's so many out there. Like, I just think it's a lucrative thing, that why aren't every brand going to try and get in on it?
It creates hype. It's not just the money that it like the profit that they make on it. It creates hype. It gets people on your website pre-ordering for things.
For
Yeah.
sure. And like, so like I'm on the Liberty mailing list purely because of like the calendar that I got maybe 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the last few years I've decided not to get theirs because there aren't enough products that I would use in it. Even though their box is beautiful, like the products aren't just products that I necessarily use. But there's the year I got mine, like I probably was part of the hype as well, like of like, oh, it's the sellout calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And like it sold out the day that I got it. I think I remember like setting my alarm to wake up to buy it.
Oh my God, it's like Glasgow tickets.
Yeah. But like now it's not selling out because there's so many and people have to make a choice, right, of what they're going to buy because you can't have them all. You really can't. And they also are really naughty. They stage their like launches or like their reveals of what they have. So it's really hard to know which one you're going to go for. You have to kind of commit to one. I
think
but
also,
yeah, I know it hasn't sold out. So like, yeah, I think the hype stuff really works.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's only going to get bigger. So like the original creators, like Liberties, might suffer a little, but like they just have to level up their game.
Yeah, there's more competition. Yeah, I agree. Just to go back to the point you made, about people having to decide between these advent calendars now, the more that come on the market, the earlier that one company has to release theirs because they need to get first dibs on the customers. Because if you see that Liberties has theirs first, you're going to think, oh shit, let me just buy it so I don't miss out. And then later on, YSL has got theirs, and that comes out later in the year. You're going to be like, oh, I already got one. I'm not going to spend any more money. So that's why it started in like October. They're trying to get.
I think that's why Space NK was first, because Cult Beauty is almost like notoriously a little bit better than theirs in terms of like, if you're justifying it to yourself, if you get £1,000 worth of products over like 800 or 900 in theirs, like that feels like the deciding factor almost. And Cult Beauty donate to charity because of how like successful theirs is. I think they're donating to like a charity that helps with COVID this year, or maybe it's a deforestation one, maybe it's both. But like that one came a month later, so Space NK got in there first, probably to make sure that they got that, you know, like there's definitely a battle of the brands. And so I wouldn't mind betting, like, I mean, I hope they don't get any, like October felt really early, and to be getting emails about it in September. But I think it will keep getting earlier.
Yeah, for sure. I think so as well. They might even do like an Easter egg thing.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind betting that more things happen with this. Like, I just think, I say it all the time, but like consumerism is at an all-time high. Like we for sure have this sort of, I always call it like the dog mentality. I definitely have it at times of like, oh, I'm not feeling great, or oh, I deserve a treat because I just did this. Like we have this mentality of rewarding ourselves, which isn't necessarily bad.
No.
Like as like, but like these companies benefit from that. You know?
100%. 100%. I think I need to get in on this advent calendar game,
but maybe there just isn't one that like appeals to you yet.
Yeah, I don't think,
because you're not so involved in like obsessed with beauty and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so maybe there will be something. I think jewelry would entice you more, but then jewelry is so personal that you'd almost want to create your own custom one.
Yeah, I think jewelry is the one that I would definitely go for. Say it was like Misoma, then it would be like quite simple pieces anyway, and I could just like wear it with what I've already got. So that would be quite cool. But yeah, as you said, it's just going to continue on. More brands are going to jump on the bandwagon, and I think we're going to see some real heated competition with like the offering that you get in them, the price point.
It's going only going to keep going up, like the offering, and so the price point will keep nudging up.
But yeah. So I think that's everything I've got for this topic. What's this week's poll though?
I guess we should ask, like, do you guys buy into these calendars? If so, which one have you bought?
Mhm.
And we need to know if anyone's bought the Chanel one.
I need to know. Someone has. It's sold out. Someone's bought it. Be honest. Are you using the stickers? It's okay.
How's the bookmark treating you and the pouch?
Oh, yeah. And Chanel, call us. We keep saying we will design.
We are your ideas, people.
Yeah, we will do a SOS Chanel collab for the advent calendars and if you want an Easter edition, we'll do that as well.
Yes. Oh man, they could do a great Easter egg.
Honestly. And then you open the egg up and inside there's all these like treats.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the chocolate.
You know what? People would even buy like little chocolate squares wrapped up with Chanel like stickers on, you know? People would even buy that.
If it was like, you know, there's luxurious truffles where they have like, one's got cognac in it, one's got like, I don't know, it's soaked in red wine that were produced in the Champagne hills of whatever. Yeah. Oh my God. Guys, don't steal our ideas.
Trademark.
I'm off to email Chanel. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. It's Style Over Substance. I've been Mim.
I've been Scarlett.
I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.